Welcome to my market update video. I'm going to take a look at Bitcoin, gold, the S&P, and crude oil, mostly Bitcoin, of course. And after that, I'll go through my tweets. So I'm going to jump into screen share. I haven't done an update for quite some time because I was busy with clients and special requests. I can't go into details because I'm not allowed to. I had to go through my legal team and in order to check if I can do what they asked for me. So my clients took some time, and that's why I was busy with them and my legal team, and I had no time, and I could not make any update any sooner. But now we're going to take a look at Bitcoin. And firstly, let's go to my webpage and read my disclaimer. Also, if you're interested in my services, you click on services, and there you have more details. You can book me for 1 hour or take my special limited mentorship, which gives you a discount of 60%. I'll go over that if you're interested. Here's my disclaimer in French and German. Okay, that's all for the disclaimer. And now let's take a look at the market. So we'll start with Bitcoin. So on the monthly, we see my outlook is still the same. The halving is upon us, and we are much lower than what I expected for this halving. But I still hope that we get to wave 3, which according to me is not over for now. And if we go into the 30-minute chart, we'll see I have seen wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and we could be, is it over or not? Let's take a look. I'll have to make sure that we did not go any lower. Well, we did not. So for now, I'll put the end of wave 4 here. But if we went a little lower, which we did not, but if we did, then I would put the end of wave 4 here. But for now, I'll still take this as a 1, 2, and expecting a wave 3 higher. So I'm expecting something like this for now. And let's make it green. But that's on a very small time frame. So take that with a grain of salt, because I'm not sure. And if we go any lower than 9,519.47, I'll change my mind. Huh? Then I'll have to look for an alternate count. If we look at the 4-hour chart, I saw wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, then a flat correction, and then we went for a new, let me zoom in so you see something. Then we went for a new wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is wave 1, 2, 3 Here is wave 4, and I'm expecting wave 5. So I'm expecting us to be above 10K, around 10.5K for the top of wave 5. But I might be wrong. This count, you must take it with a grain of salt. It's a very short time frame, the 4-hour chart, and there's a lot on it. And as I told you, if we break that level, then I'll change my mind on the last part of the count, but I still will try to take a look. We'll hope that we are still getting a wave 5. The wave 5 will stop if we go below that point, which is wave 1 and wave 4. In an impulsive wave cannot go below wave 1, so this level 9,400 must hold in order for us to get a wave 5. And we are very, it's a very tight call, as you can see. I mean, that can be wrong before the end of this. Here I'll maybe be looking for an alternate count before we stop. I'm quite surprised that my video is not showing up on the top, which I don't know why. I don't mind it, but normally there's my image up here, and it's not anymore. Well, it does not matter. You don't have to see me. What you are interested in are the charts, so it does not matter. Okay, if we take a look at the one-day chart, let's update it. So we are 2 days from the halving. And here, if we are going to take a look at the only indicator I'm looking at right now for Bitcoin, and it's the stock to flow indicator. And according to stock to flow indicator, price should be going up here. The lower band on the stock to flow indicator is for now at 3.5, around 3.5, but I'm expecting us to hold the middle stock to flow. And then after the halving, price should go up to 40K. So that's what stock to flow is giving us. I think it's probable. That's why I'm looking at it. If we take a look at the gold now, so let's start with the market is closed, so there's nothing that will change. In gold, I saw 1, 2, 3, and here I'm expecting wave 4. So since wave 4 could be over, we could go low higher to wave 5. And that's the very short look on gold. Let's take a look at the 4-hour, zoom out to the 4-hour. So there was, it was corrective, but I hope that the correction is now over. Not 100% sure about that, but I'm expecting it. Let's take a look at the one-day chart. If we zoom out to the one-day chart, we had the top of wave 5, which is a wave 3, then an ABC correction, then here an ABC again, which was wave X, and then an ABC, and that could have been wave C. So if we zoom in here again to the 4-hour chart, this could have been wave C, and if that's wave C, it would be the wave Y and the C wave that I'm looking for. I'm not 100% sure that that's the case. It's a question of probabilities. As you know, there are no certainties in the market, but probabilities. So how do I know that we are still corrective if wave 1 does not hold? Same thing as on Bitcoin. If we go below that one, then it's not impulsive and there won't be a wave 5. then we're still corrective. So let's see if that's happening or not. Let me save that chart. And if we zoom out, so here's the 1-day chart. And that's the correction, which I hope that it's over right now and we go higher. And if we go to the 1-week chart, we had a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we need to get a correction. The correction could actually be longer because once you get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you want the correction should be quite long. So I would not be surprised if the correction would be even longer than what I'm looking than what I showed you on the shorter time frames. I would not be surprised because look, this correction was quite long. This correction was quite long. So if that's 5, this is quite short for a correction. So I would not be surprised if you go even longer. Let's take a look at the 1-month chart. So here's the 1-month chart, and on the 1-month chart, according to me, we had wave 1 here, 2, 3, 4, and I'm expecting wave 5 to top up here somewhere. So if that was wave 4, we started wave 5, and we are right now here in the correction of wave 5. So if we zoom back in again, there's this correction that we are working through now. And here I put the end of wave 4 here, but that's wrong. We have to move it over here. So that's the question of the orthodox button and the end of the correction. And I think the end of the correction will be somewhere around here. And it's not an extremely classical correction. I mean, to stop here, I mean, we could go down until here because it could be an ABC. We could even overshoot. Since we overshoot here on wave C, we could overshoot to the downside on wave C. So that's all possible. But then again, we already retraced up to wave 4 from the last move up. So I'm not sure that we're going to retrace once more. And this is a special time. So I'm not sure that we'll make it down to here. But anyways, my long-term outlook is bullish on gold, just as it is on Bitcoin. And the only question that remains is if the correction we are looking at from here is over, or if we still will be corrective for quite some time. We could be still corrective for quite some time because it could, without any doubt, take us longer before we go higher. Or we could start an impulsive wave from here. I'm not sure. I went with the opposite, with the positive count for now, but if on Monday we'll go on the 1,698.4, and then will have to look for an alternate count, and it would take longer. Now on the S&P, well, on the S&P, so the big thing on the S&P is that most people think that that's the correction, and then we get wave B, and that will go lower on wave C. So I'm not sure about that. And I'll tell you why. Because I see a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if that's wave 5, we could get an A, B. Let's move that here. And then C. So we could get an A, B, C, but it would then mean that we go higher. So as long as I see here an 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'll believe that we go higher on the S&P too. The only way I'll change my mind is if wave 2 goes lower than, and well, that might not seem like very useful information to you, but it is to me. So the only way I'll change my mind is if we go below that low. So if we go below that low, then it is not impulsive, and I'll change my mind. Because then it would not be impulsive, then it would not be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because wave 2 cannot retrace 100%. What would be normal is to get a correction up to here and then go higher. This would be normal, to go to wave 4 and then go higher. It's not a question if I like it or not. It's just a question what will happen. And a lot of money is printed in the stock market, and it just can go straight into the stock market. So expect the stock market to go higher. And then if you get inflation, well, even if you lose money being in the stock market could always go higher. So to me, I get a little more bearish if wave C goes below 2,720. But even then, we'll be looking for a new impulsive wave, because we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves, and wave B cannot be made up of 5 waves. It's just not possible. Wave B can only be a 3 wave, and here I clearly see 5 waves, so I must be bullish. According to Elliott, I must be bullish on the S&P. Okay, for fun, I'm not endorsing in any way or form the shitcoin. I'm going to take a small look at it just for fun, since I have it open. I'll take a look. And on that shitcoin, which is Hex coin, I'm not endorsing it. I'm not telling you to go to invest your money in it in any way or form. But as I've seen an impulsive wave here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then a correction, an A, B, C. And then I have seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here was a correction, but it was very short-lived. Then wave 1, here we had wave 2. Then I'm looking for wave 3, which might be over or might not. I can't say it for sure. If that was stop, it was over. But anyways, now let's say we go a little higher. So I'm still expecting us to go higher on that shitcoin too. There's a lot of money is created, and that money won't go into real businesses like restaurants or anything else, because there's or even real estate should not end up there, because that's just a joke right now, and you must expect it to end up in the market, and even in shitcoins like this one. Here we have crude oil, and crude oil is a good indicator of our economy, and we are still extremely low. So being at 24 is below on the production cost. So here in the best case scenario, I'm not saying that that's the case. I'm just looking at it because it went negative, and it is more indicative of our current state of affairs than is something like the stock market. Sorry, I did not mean to do this. So let's go back into screen share. So what I wanted to do is to show you the waves. Okay, I have to stop that. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I'm intended to show you. So let's start here. So this is wave 1, 2, this could be wave 3, 4, 5. So if that's wave 5, we are now in a correction. The correction should be at least an ABC. So if that's A, let's do it again. So best case scenario is that's A, B, C, and that we get now again 5 wave up. Anyways, if that's if that was an impulsive wave, which it could have been, then we are expecting correction. The correction could be short or long. I'm not sure about that, and then we should go higher. So that's all I can say. So the worst could be over, but then again, I would not bet the house on that. I'm just looking at it because it's a good indication for what it's a barometer for the state of affair of our economy. And the worst could have been over, and it could be now looking better ahead. But still, be careful. I would not bet the house on it. So we'll end with my tweets, and I wanted to show you some food distribution in Europe, because a lot of people are unemployed, and in one of the most developed countries on earth, people are lining up to get free food. That's extremely disturbing and shows you how bad things are. Here you have somebody throwing money around, and the homeless guys trying to get some. Here I've replied to Jimmy Sum and said, well said. He said, you don't really own your house. You have to pay property tax. You don't really own your dollars. Authorities can seize your bank account or inflate it away, and they will be seizing your bank account through bail-ins, and they are always inflating it away now really hard, since they gave her free money like that guy to everyone, and that money comes from somewhere. It comes straight out of it is the value that has been eroded from the dollar. And the last thing he said was, you don't really own physical possessions. Authorities can arrest you, your physical possessions. Authorities can arrest you. So I'm thinking he's talking about your body here, and telling you that they can arrest you and put you in prison, which is right. The only thing you really own is Bitcoin. Okay, now here, that was the stock to flow, but we looked at a newer version of stock to flow. Let me take that out of the way. It is disturbing me, and I guess it's disturbing you too. Here's US farming, and they are dumping potatoes, so that's really disturbing too. Here you see how China is, how people are living in China, and that's the only way to make sure that you don't get the coronavirus. So well done, but we'll have to get the same going in our countries if you have to be protected against the virus. Here's the debt level. So you saw that we have on 1930, the US national debt was 16 billions, and now we touched 24, even 25 trillions. So that's huge, and it will go up astronomical. So it means the increase is always much more. As you see, we could take much more time, much less time to go to put 6 trillions on, and we took not long at all to go from 16 trillions to 26 to put 10 nearly 20 nearly 10 trillions on. So it is exponential. Here I've told you that this guy tells you that is a proof of primarily to burst our economy in order to save all people who were going to die. So that's what that guy thinks. I think it's crazy, but that's what that guy thinks. It didn't have to be that way. It's neither. Just human incompetence that kills men and our economy. So they make sure that our economy dies and that we get coronavirus. So they lose on every account. They use from a sanitary point of view, and they are losing from an economic point of view. They are total losers. They have no idea what they are doing, and you will pay the price for it, for sure. Here, that's a guy, a homeless guy, and I said about him, I don't really read the newspaper that this article interested me. This is the situation of poor of the poor in our countries. Isn't it distressing? This is why I have never been able to approve our system and the lefties, Bohemia. So we call lefties bobo gauchiste in French, and the translation seems to be Bohemia in English. So I could never agree with it. So this was the article. You can translate it with Google Translate. And the article told you simply that somebody was fined and ordered to prison because he's a homeless guy in French. And he opened his veins in court in order to protest what they inflict, the punishment they inflict on him. So those people have it extremely hard right now, and our society is taking, is like always making them life even harder now during the corona stuff than it was before. So you read that article and you will get what I mean. And here's somebody that is very controversial. It's Alain Soral, and I still thought that this is really funny and interesting from a philosophic point of view. So he talks about what a bad guy is and what kind of guys people like, and it is translated in English. So I found it quite funny to listen to. If you want to take a look to somebody who is very controversial, you can. And those are the oil producing countries, and my tweet about that was all the debt oil producing countries, no more income, expenses higher than ever. So it's because it's below the production cost for all those countries, and all those countries lost their income for now. Until we'll go to higher prices, but we must be around 50. And right now we are around 25. So until we go around 50, there's no way they make enough money, all those countries. Trump's advertisement for the presidential re-election. So that was quite interesting. Take a look at it. Here I was talking about oil. It looks like it's dead. It is trading below my expectation. The current price is lower than its cost of production, and the oil producing countries are dead. So that was what I was talking about, but we talked about it a lot. The reason why US oil went to zero seems to be a function of the future expiring tomorrow and no one willing to take the delivery. So they don't know where to put all the oil for there's no demand right now. That's why oil went negative. So let's go on. Here we have in Ghana distribution of rice. So you see that's also disturbing to see nowadays. And that was an image of the great performance that we have. So there are millions of people unemployed, and there were millions of people unemployed during the 30s too. So during the Great Depression. Here is one more line for a drive-through for a food bank in Pennsylvania. Here you get a food bank in Pittsburgh. Here you get something like a food bank or food distribution in San Antonio, and they're always really long. Here you have one. South America are lining up to get 3 bags of food, and that was in Maryland in the US. So just look at that and you'll see that things are really looking bad. Here you have booking for free food. People are lining up so they can't afford food anymore. What we see today is the incompetence and the evil embodied by our governments. Wake up, stop trusting our system or our elected officials. So I'm just telling you that things are looking very bad for the small guys, for the middle class right now. Slavery has never been abolished. It has only been expanded to include everyone. And that's somebody I don't know, but I found Charles Bukowski. I have no idea who he is, but I found that to be hitting the nail on the top. And here I was talking about the police broke a door because of social gathering. Don't worry, everything is fine. So that's disturbing too. And that was my last Bitcoin video, which was dated nearly 1 month ago. And I was very busy meanwhile. That's why you had to wait until today to get an update. So now we went through everything. If you need to reach out to me, you can do that. We can talk in French, German, or English as you are pleased. And that was all I wanted to share to show you today. So thanks a lot for watching and see you next time.